There's this line, it's called the Intel Trinity. It's written by this guy named Michael S. Malone, who's also written a bunch of other books on early Silicon Valley history. They talked about the company it's almost like dying. I'll get to the main point that the market has to be educated. There's many such cases in the history of entrepreneurship where it's not that your aim is wrong. It's not that your target is wrong. It's like you just haven't educated the market yet. And so Andy Grove is the one running Intel at the time, and Robert Noyce comes up with them because he's like, we're going to start another project. And Andy Grove later remembered thinking, he says, go away. We do not have time for this. What kind of company starts new projects when its very survival was at stake? And the answer is a company that can't resist a great technological breakthrough. And that was the invention of the microprocessor. One of the biggest things, and it's fucking crazy how powerful ideas are, right? Because this idea, the reason I went to go look up my old highlights and to reread them is because this fucking idea stayed in my brain that the market has to be educated. If you're introducing something brand new, you have to educate them. And I thought about this, where like, I know how world-changing Scribe Media was to you, Eric, because we're friends, because we've had private hours and hours and hours of private conversations. And I can't help but thinking, and I'm going to try to help you do this with like this trusted partner network that I'm building out that Scribe's going to be a part of, where I can like help educate the market too. You have a great line where it's like, books don't have to make money to make money. Is that the line?
Books don't have to make money to make you money.
Okay. Again, it goes back to having a body of work, having this proof of work that you can point to, even if you're not trying to sell the book. And so I'm going to read two highlights from the Intel Trinity that really is, it's important because I always say like, what, the reason I started this conversation was like, how do you want to spend your time, Mitchell? How do you want to spend your time, Eric? I talked about maybe before we were recording, I can't remember. It's like the opportunity cost for me doing anything other than reading, making podcasts is too high. It's like, that's how I want to spend my time. But it says McKenna quickly discovered that the marketplace wasn't just confused by the concept of the microprocessor, but was actually frightened by its implications. Many of my engineering friends scoffed at it. It was the fucking microprocessor, one of the greatest inventions of all time. And engineers like, this is ridiculous. His solution, the market had to be educated. So what did Intel do? Intel was run. The reason the book's called the Intel Trinity, because it's Gordon Moore, Bob Noyce, and fucking Andy Grove. And it says at one point, Intel was conducting more seminars and workshops on how to use the microprocessor than the local junior college's total catalog of courses. Bob Noyce, Gordon Moore, and Andy Grove became part of a traveling educational roadshow. Everyone who could walk and talk became educators. Here's the punchline. It worked. It was not a bad product. The market just had to be educated.